Good morning. I'm going to take you through in a short presentation how to make a submission to the draft plan that you've heard so much detail on this morning. And we'll be going through Westmeath's new consultation portal. And this is where you can view the draft development plan online. You can view the interactive maps on zoning and so forth, and make an online submission. Now you can make a postal submission as well. And if you do, that will also be published with the submissions that are made online. So every submission that will be coming into the development plan will be published within 10 days of receipt. So to get started, to go to the consultation portal, you can type in consult.westmeath.co.ie, and that's the location of the consultation portal, which we'll view in a moment. Or you can view the plan and the portal by visiting the Westmeath Main County Council website and just scrolling down to the middle of the page, and you'll see here under featured content that there's a link to the online public consultation portal here. So if we click here, we'll just be explained a little bit about what the consultation portal is, and you can either go straight to make a submission or view the development plan draft. So we'll go and view the draft. And here is the consultation portal, where you will be able to view all the consultations that are currently live within the organisation, but we're just going to step directly in to the development plan draft. When you do, you will see the full draft county development plan published online, and on the right hand side here you will see the table of contents. You will also see a link to the number of submissions that have come in, and you can click through and read those, which we'll come back to in a moment. So if we scroll down, on the left hand side you will see how to make your submission, the deadline and so forth, and on the right the full contents of the draft plan are published here. All the volumes, volume 1, volume 2, the book of maps, the environmental assessments, and scrolling down further we can also see links to those development plan maps. We can also see any materials uploaded with each chapter, and there is also a dashboard where you'll be able to view a graphic representation of the number of comments coming in on the different chapters. So we'll have a look at that later on. For now, we're just going to step through and have a look at the maps. So I'm going to click here on the land use zoning objectives. This will bring up the interactive map, and here you can see the different settlements. You can zoom in, for example, to Castle Pollard, and zoom in further where you'll be able to see the detail of that settlement, including the zoning layers. And these are described on a legend here on the right hand side. You can click in further to each policy objective for each area, and you can click on and bring up what that statement of that objective is. And by moving the arrow, you can also see the zoning for that area also. These maps and information are also on your submission form, so you can also explore those layers there. So just returning back to our development plan main page, we can have a look and go in and view the submissions that have already been received and published. So if we click here on these submissions, we'll be brought to the page that lists all of the submissions received and published so far. So here's an example, and we can see here with this little icon that there's been 2 areas on maps drawing related to that submission, and also an attachment. And you can click further through to any submission there and read that submission. For example, there's one there from the PPN. So now we want to go in and make a submission, but to do so we need to register for a free account on the portal, and this will enable you to keep a track of all of your submissions that you make to all consultations across Westmeath County Council. And it'll also allow you to start your draft to the draft development plan and come back and continue working on it until you're happy to submit it. So on the very top right of the page there you'll see a register button. Just click on that. You'll be asked to choose on what capacity you're registering, as an individual, maybe as an organisation, or as an agent. And if you select any one of those, You'll then be brought to a registration form where you'll be asked for your name, email address and address, and you'll be asked to consent to receiving some notifications from the portal. You may choose that or not. And then you'll receive an activation link in your email box. It's very important that you click on this to validate your email, and then you'll be set up with an account to set your password and log in directly. If you come back another day to log in, just simply go to the login page and log in directly. So now we're going to press on Make a Submission and just step through how to make a submission to the draft plan. So you'll arrive at a very simple page to start. You'll simply be asked for a title for your submission. And this is just to enable the submissions to be listed on that view page so others can read and click in and view your submission. You simply put in a short title there, a couple of words, 3 or 4 words just describing what your submission is about. Then you'll be brought to the cover letter and the main page of your submission, and you have the option to put in a cover letter. And then at the page tour up here, there's a little tour you can take if you want to just go through all of the elements on the submission form. For example, maybe to put into the cover letter, how to make an observation and so on. But it's very straightforward. You'll then arrive at the observations part, and this is where you'll select the chapter that you want to comment on. So when you're making your submission, you'll be commenting on the different chapters of the plan. So we'll select here the core strategy, and when we do, we can choose to read that chapter while we're in our submission, and we can copy and paste out any of that and put it into our observation. So I've selected, I've read my chapter, given it a short title, and I've made my comment. If I scroll further down, I can add an attachment relevant to my observation. And I can also view the interactive map. So this will be the very same information as was shown on the interactive maps earlier. As you can see, your settlements, your zoning and your objectives, and you can explore those through the various layers. And if there's an area of interest that you'd like to highlight in your submission, simply click the pencil icon here and this little draw tool, and then you'll just be asked to click and double click to end, and you can draw your shape. And that will then be part of your submission that will be submitted. At the end, then when you're finished, you can save and review. Check over your observations and your map, make sure you're happy, and then you can either save it and come back later, so exit and continue later, or keep going and add another observation on another chapter, or submit. If you choose to submit now, you will be given a confirmation message on screen with a unique ID for your submission, and this will also be sent to you in a confirmation email with a link to your submission. If you've chosen to save it and come back later, you can go and retrieve your submission by going to your account page, and you can view all of your account details and your submissions by clicking on this little profile icon on the top right of the screen. If you click there, it'll bring up a menu where you can see what your profile is, maybe change your password, and here you can see your submissions. So we'll click on that, and we're brought to the draft submission that you started earlier, and you can click into that, press edit, and continue working on your submission until you're ready to submit. You will get an alert from the portal the day before closing, just in case you're still working on it or forgot about it, and it will remind you to get it in before the deadline. And finally, there's just a dashboard that you can view, which we mentioned earlier. If you click on that link, you will see the different comments coming in by the different chapters, and that just helps give you an overview of the shape of the responses coming in. And if you click on any of those graphs, you'll be able to search and filter and bring back those observations on the different chapters that are of interest to you. So that's an overview. If you have any questions, I look forward to answering them in the Q&A or following up afterwards. And just a reminder that the closing date for submissions is the 30th of June 2020 at 5 p.m. Thank you.